It says preparing to live stream the meeting. Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. I wonder, redirecting to YouTube.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
It says preparing to live stream the meeting. Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. I wonder, redirecting to YouTube.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Okay, so do you have a window open on your computer?
Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. Okay, so I closed the YouTube live stream and know that there is about a 20-second delay between we're talking and when it arrives on the channel. So that's why you heard it twice.
Yeah, I was like, something's happening here.
That's why. But the thing is, if I don't have that open, I wonder, we won't be able to see comments, will we?
Well, yeah, I don't see anything right now.
But I wonder if I can.
Something. You could have it open and mute it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody, we're live on YouTube. This is Ann Frost from I Thought I Knew How podcast. Go check her out. She's amazing. We are figuring out this whole live stream integration thing where we can together be live and stream. Yeah. It's new technology for me, so be patient.
We're figuring stuff out.
We are figuring stuff out. So as long as I don't say anything super stupid, I'll consider that a success, right? Oh, okay. Right now I'm going to go to my YouTube studio. I wonder if I shouldn't have closed that window. Do you think?
I don't know what you did.
I don't either.
Oh, when you closed it before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think we're still live? I'm going to text.
My corner thing says live on YouTube.
So does mine, but I wonder how can I see. I wonder how I can see if we have comments. Oh, it says 36 watch. There's 36 people watching us. Yay! Hi, everybody.
We're just goofing off.
We are totally just goofing off. I'm trying to see how I can see your comments.
I've been cleaning all day. Don't look at me.
Oh, there's people talking to us.
I can't see it. You'll have to read it.
Okay, I can see it now. So what I did is I muted my computer in the background so it wouldn't echo over ourselves. And it says, oh gosh, how fun. Okay, hi from Rebecca. Hi, the Buffmeister. Catherine is here. Barbara Webb from Peaster, Texas. Carla from Jackson, Mississippi. The Tooth Fairy says hello from Sweden.
Yay, the Tooth Fairy.
That's fantastic. Oh, Annette from Northern Illinois. Let's see, Kathy from Barrie, Ontario, Canada. All right. Sheila King from Sierra Vista, Arizona. Lindsay, my trusted moderator, says, yay, it's working.
She was the one person we needed.
Yay, thank you. Thank you for doing that. I'm super happy we'll be able to do this. I can't even believe it worked like the first time. So since everybody's here, I will show you. Here's my second Harriet's hat. This is number 2. My husband stole the first one. It was exactly the same color. And my husband tried it on. And I have to say, we've been married 30 years. And he's very supportive of the knitting. He never says anything about like squishy mail. He's all, he's very supportive. But, he's been around it for 3 decades. So he's kind of like, man, he was excited about the hat. He's like, oh, can I have that? And I'm like, well, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to tell you. So, but his head is probably an inch. I mean, he's a big guy. He's 6'4" and, 225 pounds. He's a big guy. And so his head is larger in circumference than mine, than the pattern. And so I wasn't sure how we would go about blocking it. I couldn't find a bowl, like it was the same as, right. So he wore it dry. Like I put it in the sink and we soaked it and we did all the, the gentle washing maneuver, and then he put it on and he wore it dry. He's like, I'll sleep in it. I don't care. like he hasn't been that excited about anything I've knitted for ever.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
beautiful hats.
So then I had to knit the second one because my daughter was like, oh, that was going to be mine. So I still have to weave in the ends. And if you guys have watched my video, you'll know why I prefer to weave this in. So I'll be doing that this evening so that she can have this hat. I will tell you, I got 2 hats out of 1 kit with a caveat. Okay. I was short on the white. You know, the white is quite a bit, right? I ran out of white. I was probably, I don't know, less than 7 to 10 yards short. So I did bust into the white from another kit that I have. And so it was fine. But all I'm going to say is if you try to knit 2 hats out of 1 kit, you may be playing yarn chicken a little bit.
Were you, how close to gauge were you?
I thought I was pretty close. Maybe I was wrong.
Okay.
I thought I was pretty
close. Just because I know people have been able to do 2, but you know, a little variation makes a difference.
Well, I'll tell you, there is some variation too between, I mean, we've talked about this before. Everything you do with gauge and swatching, every little bit that you change, everything that you do makes a difference.
Yeah.
The first hat I knitted on different needles and I knitted it on a circular. The second hat I knitted on a circular needle too, but it was a different brand. I think it makes a difference. Yeah. And a lot of this one I did magic loop and I think it makes a difference. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Because when I measure this, well, the gauge, the written suggested gauge is 7.5 per inch, correct? 30 for 4 inches, yes. Right? So do the math. Is that 7?
7.5.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I'm measuring in the middle right here. I measured right in the middle of that star and it's 7.5.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe I left longer tails on the first one.
Maybe. That could be it too.
I mean, I try to leave. Maybe I left longer tails. I don't know.
But that's not 7 yards worth of tails.
Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, wait. You know what? I think it is.
What?
I think it's because.
Oh, now you're looking at Jameson's of Shetland. Yeah. Oh, you have more than one.
You know what it is? Nope, that wouldn't be it.
Okay, but I can't read your mind, so finish your whole sentence.
Jameson's of Shetland, or you did Jameson and Smith, right?
I did.
Yeah, and theirs is longer. They have 10 more meters than the Jamesons of Shetland. This is 115, this is 105. So if you knit it with this, you should have been able to get 2. That's interesting that you.
Who knows? I mean, I'm sure it's me. I'm sure it's how I knit or something. Maybe my floats are longer than they needed to be. Maybe the yarn tails are longer. Maybe, I don't know.
How often were you catching your floats?
Like every 4 to 5 stitches. Like you told me. I'm so happy though. I mean,
they came out so well.
I've done some color work in the past. I have done some color work, but nothing this involved, like nothing, I've done a few things here and there, usually just like the Norwegian star hat knit along that we did about a year ago, but nothing this complicated. And I'm super happy with it. Love it. Kids are happy. So for the knit along, wait, let me read comments here. Oh, we have someone whose name I can't pronounce. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try, but hi from the Netherlands. Yay! Helen Henry from Southern California, people from Virginia. Let's see, Sharon from Alabama.
I don't have, Alabama person. I do not have any people downloading my podcast from Alabama. So I need you to download it and tell your friends about it. For some reason, Alabama is like a blank spot.
I don't know. Her username is Savage Knits and Crochet, Sharon from Alabama. So Sharon, go check out Anne's podcast. I thought I knew how Help me.
.familypodcast.com.
Okay, I'm gonna write that in the.
But just subscribe. If you just subscribe through any podcast app, my like
I thought I knew how
dot
family. I'm typing in the comment.
Okay, I thought I knew how. .familypodcasts.com.
Bam. Okay. Let's see. Oh, the Buffmeister says, was it your swatching?
Maybe. Did you swatch with white? Did you use white in your swatch?
No. Should I have?
No, that's what she's saying. Maybe you used white in your swatch and that's why you came up.
Oh, yeah, no. My swatch was the two. Oh, that's another question we've had lately on the groups. So we should talk about that real quick. My swatch is here. My swatch was gray and red, and those are the two least used colors in the pattern.
Yeah.
And Anne did mention this in her video more than once, that the yarns you want to use for the swatch cuff are yarn C and yarn F, as in Frank. Is that correct, Anne?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I believe it was C and F. I'm looking for my cuff and I don't know where it ended up.
I don't know. C and F though, that's what you need. Okay.
C and F.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let's see what else.
But really it's such a small amount of yarn that if you're just doing one of the project, if you're just doing one, you'll be fine using any of the colors. But if you're, want to maximize your yarn usage, then you can do that.
You would want, you'd want to fix that. Okay, let's see. Oh, Vera says hello from Germany. Yay! Beth says, love your hat. Would you like me to move to Alabama? Beth, you don't need to move to Alabama. Do you want, Michigan is probably better than Alabama. I don't know.
He needs to move to Alabama and download my podcast.
There you go. Alabama could be fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dishing on anybody from Alabama, except that I personally cannot deal with the heat. I would not like it just because I can't stand.
Well, it's hot.
I feel like I'm going to die if it's over 85. I want to just sit in front of the air conditioning. And I live in Wyoming, so it's like we don't have humidity like they do in the real South. Yeah. So they have good food in the South, though. Okay, Wendy says, I'm so excited but nervous too. I'm trying to figure out the two-handed knitting. You know what? If you don't, like I said in my latest video, the little tips, if you need to like drop one yarn, pick up the next one, just do it how you normally do it. Like, don't stress about
and
it.
If it feels too fiddly to have one in each hand, there are people who knit with it both on the right finger or one on the first finger, one on the second finger. I want to see Very Pink Knits has a good tutorial on having one on each finger. Yeah. And some people hold them on the left hand. So, there's any way that works for you, for you.
Yeah.
So feel free to hop onto YouTube and look at some other tutorials too, if the two-handed isn't working for you.
And Catherine says that if you run out, you can use your swatch yarn. Well, that's true, except I don't want to because Anne's going to show us how to steek it. So I'm saving my little cuff here for my first steeking attempt.
You got to save it. That's why I'm like, where did my cuff go? I got to find it.
Oh, and Sharon says, I'll gladly go to your podcast. So you'll have an Alabama.
I'll have an Alabama.
Yeah.
That also like South Dakota or something. There's like 3 states. I can't remember the third right now.
3 states and you don't have anybody.
No downloads.
Oh, that's funny. That's awesome. Probably, okay, this gal, probably knitting, I'm assuming it's a gal, sorry if you're not, says that dropping is so relaxing. I could take that. Yeah. I'm like, dropping. Oh, cool. All right, so now we know the live stream works. I'm really happy. Hopefully it will work on New Year's Day. We're gonna cast on live with you, except I'm not sure if I can. I don't know if I can like talk to you and cast on at the same time.
I know. I might do the actual cast on first, or maybe we'll just have some quiet time.
Yeah.
You should be like, okay, we'll do this part and then we can talk.
Right. Because I don't know. Okay, I'm knitting the headband. And so let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
If you are knitting the headband, the pattern is fantastic. It's reversible and lovely. So this is that's the outside, that's the inside, or inside, outside, outside, inside, whatever. It's reversible. But what's so cool about it is that you cast on, and it does not specify this in the pattern, but Anne and I were discussing this. It's kind of an advantageous thing to do, to cast on provisionally and then knit the first half, and then you have this like line of, is it like knit purl seed stitch?
I think on that one it's just a purl ridge.
Okay, well, you're going to knit a one row that is specifically designed to be the place at which you fold it.
Yeah.
And then when you're done knitting the second half, you fold the whole thing over. So like you fold it over like this. So all of your stitches are on the inside. So weave in whatever you're going to weave in before you do that. And then you're going to connect these two by either sewing it together, or if you've done the provisional cast on, then you can do Kitchener the whole thing together, or 3-needle bind off, which is probably what I'm going to do.
Right. I did the 3-needle bind off on the first cowl I did.
Color cowl. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it worked beautifully. Yeah. So, and it was quick and yeah.
Oh, Rebecca, no, Rebecca, it's totally fine. If you start late, it's totally fine. All the videos are uploaded to YouTube. They'll be there when you're ready. We will be around. We're not going to like ditch and run. We're not going to go, okay, you're on your own. Bye-bye.
We won't abandon you.
No.
I was going to say about the headband specifically, because you do fold it in half. Yeah. I had several people tell me, several like Shetland knitters tell me that they wouldn't even bother to weave in the ends on that. They would just take 2 of the ends and tie it in a square knot, checking the front to make sure it's not distorting the stitches. You don't want to be like super tight, but just tie it in a square knot and trim the ends and then fold it in half and do the thing, because it's going to be closed. You're not going to see it.
Now that, I'm glad you brought that up. Now I have, like, you can kind of see here, maybe, this is the beginning of my round right here. Like, oh, sorry. This is the beginning of my round. So a little of that is wonky. And so I'm going to, make sure to tighten up anything I need to and tug and, even things out before I weave in the ends. But as Anne is saying, if you do that as you go, tie a little square knot, deal with the tails. Like I will probably leave an inch or 2 and kind of weave them into the floats. Oh, Lindsay, thank you. Thank you for helping. She says she has to go to the grocery store. Lindsay, thanks for popping on and making sure we're working here. Yeah. So I will probably do that and then fold it over. And I will weave in, just because I don't want bumps in my headband, I will still, even if I have a little bit of a tail, I will weave it in and under the floats just so that it lays flat and it doesn't ball up, Yeah. But yay. So I'm going to do the headband. You're knitting the cowl for the knit along,
knitting the cowl and the gloves.
Oh,
so we'll see what happens.
Yes.
So I hope to get at least 1 glove done.
Well, yeah. And that's cool, because then you'll be able to show the ribbing, flip it through, and the
and I want to cover the afterthought thumb and doing the fingers.
Right.
And knitting the fingers.
Good. So Vera says hello from Germany. Sandra says greetings from New Hampshire. Sandra's one of my patrons. Shout out. Several of my patrons are here.
Sandra's not far from
Mary Lou. Mary Lou says, where's the tutorial for the cuff? The tutorial for the swatch cuff, Mary Lou, I'll put there is a link in the group, but I'll make sure that you get it. Go to Anne's website, I thought I knew how .familypodcasts.com, and she has, I'll put it in the group, Mary Lou.
It's also just on my YouTube channel too, for I Thought I Knew How podcast. You'll find it there too.
Yep. But
it's one of my shorter ones, not the half-hour ones.
You download the PDF from Anne's website. That's the PDF for
Oh yeah, sorry, for that cuff that Jana made. That's where you need to go to get the pattern for that.
Right. Mary Lou, I'll put it in the patron group. Yeah, not to worry. I'll put it in the patron group. I'll put the link for you. Yeah, give me a shout out if I forget. If I go outside this evening and do chores and come back in and forget, that happens. Okay. Hello from West Texas. Hello from Bakersfield, California. Oh, Phyllis. Hi, Phyllis. Phyllis is from Idaho. She's one of my patrons too. Hi. Yay. Mary Lou, you can find it. I'll get you a link, not to worry. Oh, Hannah says hello from Utah.
Hey,
oh,
Utah.
Den Payne 13. Hi from the Netherlands. Just fell in here before bed. It's 12:21 a.m.
Oh.
Both make this so much fun. I won't be doing this project, but we'll definitely check in New Year's Day just for the fun. Oh, thank you. It's so cool. I mean, every time we do something like this, I'm always like amazed at the technology that all these people from around the world are able to come together. It's just fantastic. I mean, think in the early 90s when email first started, I mean, I was just amazed at email.
Yeah.
And now I feel the same way about Zoom, right?
Yeah. We're talking on opposite sides of the country.
Right, because
people are watching from all over.
Yeah. You're in the Northeast and I'm in the Rocky Mountain West. Wow. And hopefully we're hoping to get our New Year's Day thing worked out. We may have a guest from
Shetland.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
Well, no promises, but we'll see if maybe. We're hoping. No promises. So Sylvia says hello from Los Angeles. That is so cool. Yay. So is there anything real quick before we wrap up? Is there anything real quick that you want people to know? Anything else you want people to know? Oh, think about that. Before I forget, I'm such a spaz. Tracy, if you haven't seen, Tracy from Needlepoint Joint texted me and said that she put together a green colorway. So she was at home over the holiday. She was at home over the weekend, and when the shop was closed for the holiday, and she knitted a hat out of some stuff she has, some Shetland wool that color work is her thing. So she has quite a selection at home, and she knitted up a colorway that's green, shades of green and white and the little pop of yellow, and it's beautiful. And so she went back and did some inventorying at Needlepoint Joint and put together, she has enough for 6 more kits of, what am I trying to say? Kits for the Harriet's hat.
Yeah, yarn.
So it would be 6 balls of yarn, 6 of these, and the kits are $30, not including shipping, and I don't know if there's tax or not, but she only has 6 of them left. There were 7, but I saw 1 was sold. So if you want something that's in stock right now, go and order that until tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can get 10% off if you use the code Harriet MRI for 10% off, not just the kit, but everything you put in your cart from Needlepoint Joint. So I'll put that in the chat here. So what all did I just say? Go to needlepointjoint, I'm typing .com, and then use the code Harriet I can't spell, Harriet MRI for 10% off everything in your cart, not just the kit, until tomorrow night at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time.
Yep, so that'd be 1:30 a.m. Eastern time.
And if you're overseas, that it is, well, go to timezone.com and it will tell you.
Yeah, figure it out.
I don't know all these things, but I know, all I know is that like it's 7 hours difference from here to Shetland.
Yeah.
Or like London.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's some ridiculous thing, like, I don't know, 16 or 18 hours difference from here to, like, I have a patron in Australia. So it's, so when we have patron knit night where we meet like this virtually and we have patron knit night, it's like 7 p.m. in the evening. It's 7 in the evening for me and it's like lunchtime for her. Yeah. So let's see, Probably Knitting says, I have 3 lovely skeins of Targhee from right here in Manitoba, grown and milled a few miles from Winnipeg. Can this palette be changed to 3 colors only? I would say sure.
I mean, I did it in 2.
So here would be my suggestion for that. And I'm talking off the top of my head and I am a newbie with Fair Isle, so you're gonna have to chime in here. If you were to knit something with just 2 colors, would you print the pattern in black and white and then decide what's background and what's foreground?
not this one. Can you, I'll run and grab my hat real quick.
Yeah.
And then.
I can't pause a live stream, but go. I'll talk about something. Yay, Erica. I thought that was you. Fantastic. So I would think that you could knit the hat with 3 colors only. And I guess what I would suggest is you're going to have your 2 colors, which are the pattern in the background, and Anne will show us hers. And then maybe that 3rd color you would use as the accent, you know, like where I have the red here, maybe that would be your 3rd color, depending on what you have. I don't know. So Anne will come back and tell us what her take is on that. But yeah, I would think so. So listen, the other thing I was going to tell you is if you haven't gotten your pattern yet, go to MRI Mackers, I'm typing that .com. That's where you get the pattern, okay? You get the yarn from Needlepoint Joint, but you get the pattern from the MRI Mackers. And that the sales of the pattern go for the fundraiser for the Shetland MRI Appeal. And you can read all about that on the MRI Mackers website, which I just put in the chat.
Okay. So, okay. This is the hat. Okay.
The original
and
hat.
As you can see, can you hear that sound?
Oh, kind of, but my dog's going click, click, click.
But it's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
There's chopping going on in the kitchen next door.
Well, it's dinner time for you.
Yeah. So if we look at the hat, right? In this section here and the top section up here, the background color is the white.
Right.
In this section here, the background color is the royal blue.
Right.
And so it's medium blue here.
Yeah.
So if I were to do just a Xerox copy, it's not going to tell me what's background and what's foreground. So you can see in my 2-color version here.
Oh, the MRI Mackers just popped on. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. I was all like happy that they popped on.
That's okay. You're fangirling.
I am totally fangirling over the MRI Mackers. Absolutely. Oh, so sorry, Anne.
So you could see what I did was I just looked at each motif or each pattern and decided like what's being drawn in the pattern in this section on this chart. And the parts that were being drawn are the parts that I did in white, and everything else was the black. So like here in this one, there's actually 2 shades of blue that make the background, but what's being drawn is the snowflake and the like little pyramid things in this design over here. So that's what became white here.
Yeah.
But then under here, the background is the white.
Right.
And the lines are being drawn in blue and yellow. And so that's what became here.
Sure, that makes sense. So if you were going to add that 3rd color, like I would suggest doing like whatever's red on whatever's yellow on your original hat, maybe that's your pop accent 3rd color.
I would probably do like these colors here, and then maybe the middle of the star.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The middle here, maybe.
Yeah, like the middle and the little things here, and then I would split the crown into. I would actually probably do it like the first, because the background's going to be 1 color. I would probably do like color B, color C, color B, instead of just splitting it.
Right.
Evenly. That would be my choice, but whatever you do, you know, however your preference would be, kind of thing.
That makes sense. So there's lots of choices.
Yeah, there's lots of choices.
Okay, I'm correcting the link. On here. It's MRI
Mackers, Maakers.
There, I got it right. Okay.
Okay.
And I had to move my cat. That's Peanut, by the way, if you guys have seen him on the Instagram. He keeps jumping up on the desk. Yay! I'm excited for us to start. So, and Probably Knitting says I have white, gold, and light blue. Oh, that would be lovely.
That would be, yeah, that would be perfect. You could do, you know, the white have light blue as the background and do white with the gold for these little accenty ones.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Now my hair's a mess.
We don't care.
I'll put the hat back on. I'll put so this hat, I did not do gauge at all when I did it. And you can see it's kind of loose on me. I mean, it fits okay, but this part here, I have a much taller gauge.
Right.
So this was just knit as the pattern suggested with my tall gauge. And so I ended up with all this extra up top.
Right. And somebody asked about row gauge in the Ravelry group this afternoon. And so that's the thing. If you're concerned about row gauge, then that's what would happen is you would end up with a more slouchy hat.
Right.
But if you don't want a more slouchy hat, like you mentioned the other day in one of your videos, that there are several rows that are kind of resting rounds where you only have one color, like here where it's knit 3 and yarn B, knit 3 rounds. Well, you could just omit 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah.
And that would work. Yeah.
So that's what I did here. I just did one plain row in each of those areas.
Right.
And then that made it fit more like a beanie.
Yeah.
So you can see, and it's the same gauge. I just left off like 6 rows.
Yay.
We're fashion.
Yay. We're awesome. I have to tell you, my husband is super happy. We've had really craptastic weather here in Wyoming, and he's been plowing. He works for the Department of Transportation, and he's been plowing for 3 days. And he hasn't taken off his hat. It doesn't really go with with highway orange, but so this is the second one. He's had the first one out of work. This is the second one. So I'm gonna be happy to knit the headband. And you're knitting your cowl out of the traditional colors, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
I have actually already started the cowl because I started it before I knew we were going to be doing this.
Right.
And I actually have it right here. And so I stopped when we talked about it.
Ooh, that's lovely.
For those of us, so this is my provisional cast on down here, this lighter blue.
And you just have that on waste yarn, right?
Yeah, that's just waste. And it's actually like a waste acrylic, just one I don't mind getting rid of.
Yeah, like cotton dishcloth yarn or whatever. Sure.
Yeah. And then this is what I have so far. So one thing, anybody who bought it since we announced we were doing the knit along should be fine. But one thing you want to check, see, I have like an original printing of the pattern. And you can see right here, this one actually should be filled in the same as this color. Yeah. If you've ordered this online, that's already been fixed.
It's fixed. Yeah.
But just be aware that just check your pattern real quick and make sure that you have a color dot right there.
So the MRI Mackers said, do a high visibility one for my husband. I totally should. I wonder, does Jameson's come in like neon orange? I should. And I will tell you, I am knitting the headband out of this colorway.
That's almost high visibility.
Well, I don't think so. This is like the autumn colors, so I'm pretty excited about that. But then I also splurged and got the traditional colors. For another hat for a different daughter wants the hat in the traditional colors. So so then I'm like, well, am I ever gonna get to knit one for myself then? Because they all keep they do that, yes. Oh, Karen Murphy, hi Jana, just saw you live streaming. Did you get 2 hats out of 1 order of yarn? Karen, we were talking about that earlier. I almost did. I was playing yarn chicken with the white, and I was probably 5 to 7 yards short. But again, that could have been me. It could have been, I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'll tell you what Tracy and I were talking about though. Tracy at Needlepoint Joint, we were saying, I would not count on that. I would not tell someone that they could absolutely count on getting 2 projects out of 1 kit, or 2 of the smaller projects out of 1 bundle of the 6 skeins. I wouldn't guarantee that because there's just too many variables.
It is very, very close. Yeah.
It's very close, but I would be prepared to have on hand some extra of the white and then extra of, I think I was super close also on yarn A. Oh yeah, look, that's how much yarn A I had left.
Oh, that's close.
So yeah, I was very close on yarn E, which is the white. I ran out of that, had to dip into the other. And then this is how close I was on, you can see, like, yeah, that's how close I was on the yarn A.
It's good. It's economical. It's using it all up.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully, all right. So I think we just, our little, our testing turned into a little live stream. That's fun. So if anybody has any questions, we'll be here for another couple of minutes, and then we will see you New Year's Day at 11 o'clock. Yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So you guys get to sleep in a little if you party too much New Year's Eve. That's 9 o'clock for me in the Rocky Mountain West, Denver time zone. And that's, I don't know what you said for Shetland.
That's 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
For like the British time zone.
And so that's 8 o'clock if you're like in California, and I don't even know what that is if you're in Hawaii. And if you're in Australia, I'm not sure. I don't know. Go to time.
If you're in Hawaii, just stay up. Just stay up.
There you go. There you go. Have yourself another Mai Tai. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So sounds like you could get 3 from 2 kits. Oh, if you bought 2 kits, yeah, you could probably get 3 things. Now, not the cowl, but you could get hats. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get 3 hats from 2 kits. I think you'd be fine. Of course, I say that, and then someone will prove me wrong because they'll be using like size US 7 needles or something. I don't know.
That's a big hat.
Lynn, I did use the long tail cast on for here because it's fine. For me, it was fine. So I'm going to be doing the provisional cast on for the headband. You'd want to do the provisional cast on for the cowl. I would think the long tail cast on would be fine for everything else.
Yeah.
Rebecca, New Year's morning, 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast, 11 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, and timezone.com for everywhere else. Okay? I set my alarm. I only have to think about it one time, and then
That's
I set
right.
and then my alarm tells me. I know, we're such a goober. Oh, all right. Shani says happy New Year's from all of my family in Southern California. Oh, 2 happiest New Year to all from what the hell? Okay, let's start over. Happiest New Year to all from my family in Southern California.
There you go.
Oh my word. You'd think I'd been drinking, but not. It's only 4:45 here. So
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, Nebraska. Good evening from Nebraska. Yeah, you're getting that storm we had, I bet. Right.
We had a crazy storm tonight too. Wow. I was coming home and we had thunder snow and hail, and it was pretty ridiculous.
Wow. Well, yeah, we've had horrible, like just nasty, 30, 40 mile an hour winds with gusts to 60. And we just had a bunch of snow. So now the snow is just rearranging itself.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's just, and it's, like 18 degrees. So Fahrenheit. So the wind chill is stupid. And that's when I go out to do chores. You pull on the Carhartts and all the stuff. And it takes just as long to get dressed as it does to go do anything you had to do.
Right.
So I just want to knit. I'm just going to sit by the stove with Peanut and we're going to knit.
That's what I do.
So if you need yarn still and you would like to see the green, go check that out. Needlepointjoint.com, 10% off until 11:30 Mountain Time tomorrow night.
Did they sell out of all the other kits?
Yes. However, she is placing another order from Shetland and it will ship as soon as they get it, but they're estimating mid-January. So it's only going to be a couple weeks. And even if you're not casting on New Year's Day with us, we will be here to help you. We'll be around. We'll be in the Ravelry groups. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here whenever you're ready. The videos are available indefinitely on YouTube. We will be here.
Yep.
Helen says, Jana, when are you going to get some llama and sheep and start your own yarn? Okay, I will tell you, I have had Shetland sheep. My mother had a farm for many years with Shetland sheep. I still have fleeces in my closet, honestly. I do. I had some Icelandic sheep for several years. And then, you know, we have limited number of acres. And so you have to kind of decide, well, what's your priority? And we really like cheeseburgers. And so we have a handful of cattle, because if I had to buy meat at the grocery store, I would just be vegetarian, right? Because I like to know where my food comes from. So I have a few steers, and you know, we have a couple cows, and then I really like my little goats because we milk goats and we make yogurt and cheese. And so we had to decide, we can't, I mean, Icelandic sheep are dairy sheep. They're really good dual purpose, you know, triple purpose really, meat, wool, and milk. But mine were like a little dingy and they didn't take well to milking. And I really, really like the goat's milk from the Nigerian dwarf. And so, yeah, so we had to pick. We just couldn't have enough room and land, and there's just, you know, too many chores. We had to choose. So, yeah, I have had sheep, but I don't now. Well, and as my business grows and I hope to be traveling more, then either my kids are going to have to take over more of that, or we will downsize the animals, because, you know, my husband works away from home full time. So yeah, you got to choose, you know, you can't do everything. So unless someone wants to move here and take care of all my animals while I go gallivanting about. Yeah. What are you knitting at this moment?
I have the cowl. I picked it up, so now I have to work on it.
Well, let me tell
the cowl. The cowl is going to be a bit of a beast to get done. So depending on how fast you are, well, if you cast it on the 1st, and you want to leave enough time to do the steek and finish the edges and do the toggles, you really probably should be binding off, like doing the steek on the 25th and doing the bind off on the 26th. So that translates into knitting 6 rounds a day of 303 stitches each. So for me, it takes, when I just sit down and do it, it takes me about 20-25 minutes to do a round.
Okay.
And I'm fairly quick.
And so, you know, and that does that take into account the time to check your stitches between the markers, so you make sure you haven't messed anything up?
Well, I usually notice as I get to the marker. If I get to the marker and I'm knitting a blue and I should be knitting a white, that's the giveaway, you know.
Something's wrong.
So in order to, you know, I'm looking at 2.5 hours of knitting every day just on the cowl to get it done. I'm only like at that pace, I'm only about 3 days in, even, you know, with that. That's about 3 days of knitting. So yeah, so anytime I touch it, basically, I start working on it again.
Yeah, and you have to. And so, yeah, the cowl is, I'm sure, the most advanced, most adventurous project out of the 6. Although I have to say, I have not made gloves because, you know, all those fingers are fiddly.
Yeah. And we're going to do oh, see, I already messed up. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do a tutorial when we get further along on how to do the fiddly bits, because even, I mean, they're so tiny. I know you like to do the magic loop, but really they're so tiny that it really just makes sense to do the DPNs. And so for some people, I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge, because they haven't used DPNs before, but that's what we're here for. That's what we're doing the knit along for, is so we can help each other as we go along. Right.
Let's see. Oh, yes, that's good advice. So the MRI marker says, please don't move your markers from the first row of the headband. Leave them on row 1.
Yes. And that's okay. So if you are going to do the provisional cast on and then do a 3 needle bind off at the end, you really don't need the markers.
Okay.
At all, because it will just be a 1-to-1 correspondence as you do the cast off.
Right.
But if you do a normal cast on sorry. If you do a normal cast on and then you fold and connect it, you do want those markers in place.
Yes, here's
Because
why.
you'll line up the markers.
Pretend the holes are the markers. I know where you're going. I'm going to illustrate while you tell.
Yeah. So you want the markers on the top where you're finishing and on the bottom where you started to match up so that when you sew, that segment, matches up with one another. And then you
so then you have markers here, here, and here, and those are your landmarks to match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Good advice. Thank you. Good. Okay. Who do you think is the person behind the MRI Mackers that's commenting here?
Oh, that would be Billy.
Hi, Billy. I wonder.
He does all their social media.
Fantastic. Billy, that's cool that you're joining us. I think we're honored to have you on our live stream. And I'm so glad it worked. I've only done a handful of live streams in the past, and I've never done it with someone else like Zoom. So it's fantastic that it worked. I'm pretty happy about it. All right, you guys, we've been on here for almost 45 minutes. So thank you for popping in and joining us. I'm so happy we just, randomly decided to do this.
Yeah, this is just going to be a 5-minute test.
It was supposed to be just a 5-minute test, but when you get me going.
Yeah, Jana and I, we get together and then it's 4 hours later, we've discovered.
And so that's why I'll be like, do you have time to chat? She's like, no. Oh, so yeah. We know we have to carve out some time.
Yeah.
I know the first time that happened, my kids were like, are you gonna come out anytime soon? I'm like, no, go away. Oh, Billy says hi. I can't knit. Billy, that's not true. I've seen a video where you were knitting.
He is a award-winning knit. Wait, no. Someone won an award of his hat. But his hat raised several hundred pounds for the cause. It's the most expensive Harriet's hat that's been knit so far.
Yeah, because Billy if you guys don't know who Billy is, he's Harriet Middleton, the author of the pattern. He's Harriet's son. And so he actually knit a hat, but he's not a knitter. Hey, sorry, that was my dog. He knit a hat because it was for a fundraiser and he had to figure out how to do it. And I thought it was very adventurous and fantastic, and kudos to you, Billy, for enduring that when it's probably not your favorite thing to do, but it's awesome. So
yes.
Oh, booby prize. It looked great. Billy, your hat looked great. I thought it was great. So
it did. It was like they had it nicely framed. I actually, I went to the event on Shetland for the MRI Mackers, and they had all the prizes and stuff there. And I really wanted to win the bear, and I didn't. And the best person to win the bear won the bear because she gave it back to them to use for promotion. So I thought,
is that where Billy O. Middleton came from?
Yeah, it was originally a prize that the Burra Bears people made using imperfect hats. And it was sort of like the grand prize draw. And the woman who won it gave it back to them to use for promotion.
That's so cool. So you guys,
I wanted to win. But then when I got there and saw the framed hat, I thought, oh, it looks so cool, like the framed hat and everything. Yeah, and I was like, because I've been talking about it a lot on my podcast. It'd be fun to have it on the wall. But no, I didn't win that one either.
Okay, I'm typing this in here. I want you guys to go follow Billy O. Middleton on Facebook. That's the bear that she's talking about.
Yeah, also on Instagram too.
Yeah. Well, all the places.
All the places.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll see you, bright and early in the morning for me, but not so bright and early in the morning for those east of here. All right, we'll see you New Year's Day. Yep. In the meantime, go watch the prep video, watch Anne's swatching video, do all your homework ahead of time so you're ready to go. Make sure you label all your yarn, do all the things. Do all the things. All right, be safe on New Year's Eve. Don't drink too much.
Yes.
And we'll see you New Year's Day.
Okay. Bye, everyone.